70 years. That was how long the heavy iron locks had rusted shut on St. Jude Parish. Yet as my brass key finally turned, the church bells tolled loudly above. The deafening sound vibrated through my chest, stopping my breath. No one had pulled the ropes in decades. I pushed the massive oak door open, stepping into absolute darkness. A suffocating wave of stale air and ancient dust rushed past me. My flashlight beam cut through the gloom, revealing rows of empty pews covered in thick white sheets. I froze dead in my tracks. Directly beside my own footprints in the thick dust, a second set of bare footprints appeared, leading deeper into the nave. There was no wind inside this sealed tomb, yet the altar candles flickered. A soft, breathless whisper brushed against the back of my neck, repeating my exact name. Before I could run, the massive front doors slammed shut behind me with explosive force. The iron lock clicked into place on its own, trapping me inside. Panic clawed at my throat as I turned back toward the altar. The marble structure was stained with dark, viscous fluid that slowly dripped onto the floor. I stepped closer, shining my light against the stone wall. Hundreds of jagged tally marks were carved into the plaster, stretching up into the dark shadows. On a wooden podium nearby rested an open parish logbook. The pages were yellowed and brittle, except for the very last one, which looked completely fresh. I leaned down, my heart hammering against my ribs. Written in crisp, wet black ink on the final page was my own name, with today's exact date. Desperate for an exit, I bolted toward a narrow, arched hallway on the side of the sanctuary. The air grew instantly colder, freezing my breath into mist. The corridor opened into a row of wooden confessionals. Their dark velvet curtains hung completely still, yet I heard faint breathing coming from behind one. Slowly trembling, I reached out and pulled back the curtain. The small wooden booth was completely empty, but the metal grill was fogged with fresh breath. Suddenly, the wooden partition clicked. A raspy, distorted voice whispered through the metal grill, detailing every secret mistake I had ever made in my life. I scrambled to my feet and ran deeper into the maze of rooms. Every door I tried to open was bolted shut from the other side. I finally found an unlocked door and threw myself inside the vestry. Rows of black priest robes hung from hooks, swaying gently as if someone had just brushed past them. The walls were lined with oil portraits of former pastors. As I swept my flashlight across them, every single painted pair of eyes shifted to follow my movement. I stopped in front of the oldest portrait in the center. The plaque beneath it read, "Father Thomas, 1954. The face in the frame was unmistakably my own. Before my mind could process the impossible truth, the glass over the painting shattered inward. Shards rained down across the floor as a hand reached out from the canvas. I scrambled away from the wall, crashing backward into a bookshelf. The heavy oak bookcase pivoted inward, revealing a dark, hidden stone staircase spiraling downward. With no way back, I plunged down the spiral steps. The stone walls hummed with a low, rhythmic vibration that felt like a giant heartbeat echoing through the stone. The stairs ended in a vast underground crypt. Hundreds of flickering tallow candles illuminated rows of stone tombs stretching endlessly into the darkness. As I walked between the tombs, the flickering flames bowed toward me. Soft voices whispered from inside the sealed stone sarcophagi, calling me by my childhood nickname. In the center of the crypt stood an obsidian altar surrounded by jagged iron spikes. Atop the altar rested a heavy leather-bound book radiating an eerie amber glow. "Draw closer," the whispers hissed from the walls. I couldn't control my legs. An invisible force pulled me step by step toward the glowing tome on the altar. My fingers touched the cold leather cover, and it snapped open by itself. Pages flipped rapidly until they stopped on a page detailing my entire life story. Taped to the margins were old Polaroid photographs. Each one showed me standing in this exact crypt, wearing different clothes from different eras of history. A massive grandfather clock echoed from above, striking midnight. The heavy thuds of the pendulum shook dust from the crypt ceiling down onto my shoulders. The candlelight in the crypt suddenly turned a sickly shade of green. The shadows detached themselves from the stone tombs, rising into towering humanoid shapes. They formed a silent circle around the altar, blocking every escape route. Their eyeless faces turned toward me, wearing expressions of patient, joyful anticipation. The largest tomb behind the altar slowly slid open on its own. Inside lay a velvet-lined glass coffin, completely empty except for a tailored black suit. I peered into the glass lid. Instead of my own frightened face, the glass reflected a rotting corpse that slowly smiled back at me with my exact mouth. The gathered specters spoke in unison, their voices echoing like thunder through the crypt. "Welcome home, Pastor. We have missed you while you wandered outside." A sudden rush of foreign memories pierced my mind. I remembered building these stone walls, sealing the doors in 1954, and waiting decades for the key to turn. I wasn't an explorer who stumbled into an abandoned church. I was the church itself, bound in flesh, wandering the mortal world until my return. The confusion melted away, replaced by an ancient, heavy hunger. The 70 years outside were just a brief dream between my long centuries of slumber. I walked up to the glass coffin and stepped inside, lying down upon the velvet cushions. The black suit fit my shoulders as if it had been tailored for eternity. The heavy glass lid slid shut above me with a satisfying seal. Darkness enveloped my vision once more, but this time I knew I was finally home. Time dissolved in the deep quiet of the crypt. Centuries passed in seconds as the church above weathered storms, waiting for the next cycle to begin. Upstairs, the heavy oak doors groaned against the wind. Footsteps echoed across the dusty floorboards, another curious soul holding a brass key in the dark. As the stranger's key turned in the ancient lock, the church bells tolled once more. The hunt had reset, and the parish was ready for its next master. Some doors are locked for a reason. Not to keep things out from the harsh world, but to keep something patient locked safely inside with you. Listen closely when you walk past old abandoned buildings at night. If you hear bells where there are no ropes, run as fast as you can. Because once the lock clicks open and you step across that sacred threshold, you are no longer a visitor, you are part of the architecture. Every shadow holds a face from the past, watching every move you make with hungry eyes, waiting for the moment you realize you can never leave. The bricks remember every soul that entered before you. They absorb your voice, your fear, and your memories, adding them to the chorus in the dark. There are no keys that can save you once the sanctuary claims your name in its ledger. The ink never dries, and the pages never run out. Deep beneath the floorboards, in the endless dark of the crypt, the cycle begins anew as another sleeper opens his eyes to greet the dark. The church was never abandoned. It was a hunter resting in plain sight, patiently waiting for the right traveler to turn the heavy brass key. If you ever find yourself holding a key to a sealed parish, turn around and run while you still can. Do not look back. Because the bell tower is calling your name right now, and the heavy iron locks are already waiting for your touch in the gathering dark. The empty pews hold secrets that span centuries, whispering tales of those who thought they were brave enough to unlock the parish gates alone. Upon the marble altar, the candles burn with an eternal flame, fueled not by wax, but by the lingering terror of every soul trapped inside. Every hallway twists into something older and darker, wrapping around you like stone fingers pulling you down into the subterranean crypt below. Listen to the walls when the wind dies down. You will hear your own voice echoing back, warning you of the trap you willingly walked into. The heavy oak doors are sealed once more, and the brass key rests in the dust, waiting for the next curious soul to turn the iron lock. Down in the crypt, the glass coffin is sealed tight, keeping the newest master of the parish safe until another traveler unlocks the front door. 70 years mean nothing to a building that feeds on time. It has all eternity to wait for you to turn the key. The church was never abandoned, and you were never a visitor. You built these walls yourself centuries ago, waiting for your own return. So embrace the darkness, leave your old life behind, and subscribe for more terrifying horror stories if you dare to unlock your own secrets. Sweet dreams, traveler. Check your own front door tonight and pray you never hear those church bells ringing in the dead of the night.